The locked lighthouse, a stormy web of secrets. The lighthouse stood like a battered sentinel on a jagged cliff, its salt-encrusted windows shuddering under the relentless assault of a storm that howled like a vengeful spirit. Inside, in a locked room at the tower's heart, lay the body of a man, his blood painting cryptic patterns on the stone walls. No weapon, no footprints, no way in or out. Murder was impossible, yet undeniable. The authorities, confounded, had abandoned the case, but two unlikely souls, bound by their own ghosts, were drawn to unravel its secrets. Detective Elias Jameson, once a celebrated investigator, now carried the weight of a botched case that had stripped him of his badge and dignity. His sharp gray eyes, shadowed by sleepless nights, scanned the lighthouse's spiral staircase as he ascended, the wind's wail echoing his own unrest. Driven by a need for redemption, he'd come to this desolate outpost, chasing whispers of the unsolved crime. Dr. Evelyn Adler, a scholar of rare brilliance, had long retreated from the world, her reclusive life buried in dusty tomes and forgotten archives. Yet, the enigma of the lighthouse murder had lured her from her academic sanctuary. Her piercing gaze, framed by wire-rimmed glass, betrayed a mind that thrived on puzzles too complex for ordinary souls. Their paths converged in the lighthouse's control room, where a flickering lantern cast eerie shadows over rusted dials and salt-streaked glass wire. The air was thick with the musty scent of damp stone and the tang of sea spray. Jameson, his coat dripping from the storm, eyed Adler with suspicion. "You're no stranger to secrets, are you, Doctor?" he said, his voice rough as gravel. Adler's lips curved into a faint, enigmatic smile. "And you, detective, seem to wear yours like a badge." Her words were sharp, testing, but her eyes gleamed with curiosity. The storm raged on, sealing them in the lighthouse with no hope of escape. The nearby village, a cluster of weathered cottages, offered little help its few residents, from the tight-lipped innkeeper to the superstitious fishermen, claimed no one had approached the lighthouse since the body was found. Yet the clues were there, hidden in the tower's crevices. A blood-stained key tucked beneath a loose floorboard, a torn page from a nautical log hinting at a smuggling ring, and a cryptic letter, its ink smudged, stuffed inside the control room's console. The letter spoke of Betrial, a guardian of light turned traitor, but its meaning remained elusive. Face blurred into nights. As Jameson and Adler worked, their uneasy alliance forged in necessity. Jameson passed the stone floors, piecing together timelines, his mind mapping the impossible logistics of a locked room murder. Adler, perched at a rickety desk, deciphered the letter's code, her fingers tracing patterns only she could see. Their debates crackled, with tension. Jameson's pragmatism clashing with Adler's abstract theories, but each clash brought them closer to the truth. The lighthouse itself seemed to conspire against them. Its walls groaned under the storm's fury, and the relentless drip of water from unseen leaks mocked their progress. Sleep was a luxury neither could afford, their eyes burning with fatigue as they chased shadows. The villagers' alibis unraveled under scrutiny. None could account for their whereabouts during the storm's peak, but no evidence placed them at the scene. The mystery deepened, the murder's improbability taunting them. One night, as lightning illuminated the control room, Adler's voice cut through the thunder. "The answer lies below," she said, pointing to a rusted hatch in the floor, half hidden by a pile of mildewed ropes. Jameson, his jaw tight, pried it open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. The air grew colder, the scent of brine and decay overwhelming as they ventured into the lighthouse's forgotten underbelly. At the bottom, a hidden chamber awaited, its walls slick with seaweed and etched with strange symbols. Wooden chest, its lock broken, held a ledger detailing illicit shipments gold, contraband, secrets funneled through the lighthouse under the guise of its beacon. The murdered man, they realized, was no ordinary keeper, but a linchpin in a smuggling network, killed to silence his betrayal. The ledger's final entry named the culprit, the village innkeeper, a man whose quiet demeanor hid a ruthless ambition to control the operation. But how had he entered the locked room? Adler's eyes lit up as she traced a symbol on the wall, disguised lever. With a grinding shudder, a panel slid open, revealing a tunnel connecting the chamber to the cliffs below, accessible only at low tide. The innkeeper had slipped in during the storm's chaos, committed the murder, and vanished, the tide erasing his tracks. The locked room was a lie, its secret passage the key to the impossible. Jameson's hand tightened on the ledger, his voice low. "We've got him." Adler nodded, her expression unredoubled triumphant. They emerged into the control room as dawn broke. The storm's fury spent, leaving a sky bruised with purple clouds. The lighthouse, once a prison, now stood as a testament to their resolve. They presented their findings to the authorities, the innkeeper's arrest swift and unceremonious. Yet as Jameson and Adler stood on the cliff, the sea stretching endlessly before them, a heavy silence settled. The case had cost them Jameson's hope for redemption tempered by the scars it reopened. Adler's solitude pierced by a fleeting connection she wasn't ready to embrace. The lighthouse loomed behind them, its beacon dim but unbroken, a silent witness to truths too dark to forget. As they parted ways, the wind carried the echo of the storm, a reminder that some mysteries once solved leave shadows that linger longer than the light.